And today we're looking at mitosis in the various stages in the onion root tip, also known as allium. So here is the root tip. The entire thing is just a couple millimeters long, and you really can't see that much under low power, scanning power. So here we go to low power. That's the 100x total on our microscopes. And now you can make out the nuclei, but you really have a hard time telling exactly what's going on. I always tell students, avoid this outermost layer or a couple layers here. This structure here is called the root cap, and that's a tough structure that is not actively dividing. That just helps the plant push its way through the abrasive materials in the soil. So if we move up to high power, that's 400x in our lab. And as always, refocus a little bit. Now we can see all these cells which are going through an active cell division. Now I always tell students the overwhelming majority of these cells are going to be in interphase, and then if you look around you'll find cells in various stages of mitosis. They will not be perfect like in the textbook, and that drives some students crazy, but you see pretty good stages. So like right here you see one where the chromosomes are just kind of all over the place. That is prophase. And then this one right next to it, boy, it's hard to move it just a little bit. There we go. Right there where the pointer is now, that is a good example of a metaphase. A lot of students will say, but they look kind of all over. And I say, well, the textbooks always draw it like it's perfect and they're nice and lined up. In reality, they don't do that. I say it's kind of like herding little kids, like in a little kid's soccer game or something. They are not going to make a perfect line. If you look around, you should be able to see all the different phases, and some of them are always kind of iffy. Over here, and I'll zoom in on that as well, appears to be a good example of anaphase. You can see where the chromosomes have split, in this case to the top and bottom. That is a good example of an anaphase. And then I saw a telophase just not too far above that. There we go. That right there is a good example of a telophase. You can tell that it's in telophase, not just anaphase, because you can see that there is a cell plate forming in between the two, what are about to be new cells. So that is mitosis in the onion root tip.